guys, it's Mark here, back with another playing card review, and today we are going to be reviewing the Imperial Hotel playing cards by Art of Play and Frank Lloyd Wright. So yeah, if you guys have seen the channel before, obviously, I have this channel, all the cards back there. I love playing cards. What I was getting at though, a couple of my other interests are I love history and old things. Being that I love old things, one of the sort of sectors or categories of history or old things that I like is old hotels and like creepy old hotels. In this deck of cards, honestly, I don't know a ton about it. I believe he was designed Frank Lloyd Wright designed the Imperial Hotel. I'm sure he'll talk about it in this. But yeah, so I'm super excited for this deck of cards. If you guys saw the last video, I got this from the Not So Perfect Art of Play summer sale. But yeah, cards smell very strong, smell very good. And this is like S tier talk box. So cool. So as you guys can see here, we've got another building there. Sort of looks like a Japanese, like I can picture, like I've seen that before, but I don't know in what. But so this is one of the cards, so I'm not sure if that's going to be that back design. I've had this with like 2 other decks, but so like keep in mind when you're done using these cards, you want to put the card facing, this card facing back in this way, so otherwise the tuck case would look different. But yeah, this is probably going to be a slightly longer review just because there's a lot of detail in this deck of cards. But yeah, I'm super excited about this. Before I forget, like I said, I got this from the Art of Play summer sale, which I think it's pretty much sold out now, but I got this for $7. It's on their site for $20 or $25, so yeah, really a steal with that. But yeah, super excited about this. So yeah, another very interesting fact, we're not going to get into the inside yet, but as you guys see, cards facing up here, this is how you open it. You open it from the bottom of the tuck case. And then it's got even more of all this design. It's got like the little groove there. So yeah, so much to this deck of cards. Yeah, and I guess, yeah, we'll talk about it here. But yeah, he was a designer, so yeah, it makes sense that's going to be a very intricate, detailed deck of cards. So yeah, this is what I'm going to read real quick. Sorry if it's a little bit boring, but I do feel as it's, by Frank Lloyd Wright and Art of Play, it is prevalent, to get a little history on the guy, Frank Lloyd Wright. From 1913 to 1922, Wright designed and built the Imperial Hotel in Tokyo, Japan. Okay, I'm assuming that's what that is. That looks very Japan-esque. But yeah. For decades, this landmark served as an architectural icon for the city, during which time it survived several devastating earthquakes until it was demolished in 1968. Sad. It doesn't say that on there, I'm just saying that's sad. Fortunately, the main entrance and the hotel lobby were preserved and reconstructed in 1968. Oh, wow. At the Museum Mejimura, an open-air architectural museum. Architect, that's what I meant to say, not designer, sorry. But, yeah, an open-air architectural museum and themed park near Nagawa in Achowi, in Nagoya something, a place in Japan, basically. Sorry, I am not good with other languages. In celebration of the centennial anniversary of the Imperial Hotel, the Frank Lloyd Wright Foundation has partnered with Art of Play to design a commemorative pack of playing cards based on Wright's original drawings, meticulously illustrated Is that what it says? Yeah, meticulously illustrated by Ethan Kowalski in close collaboration with Brad Fulton and Dan and Dave Buck. If you don't know who Brad Fulton is, the Art of Play, they have a bunch of cards that are like Fulton, like there's the Fulton Street cards, and yeah, they have a bunch of Fulton cards, and so he's a close collaborator with Dan and Dave Buck, the Buck twins who run and created Art of Play and cardistry basically. So yeah, very cool. So yeah, sorry, I was just thinking for a sec there. So yeah, obviously this guy isn't still alive if he was doing architecture in 1913 to 1921. So yeah, it's just his foundation they collaborated with, but they did get very similar to the Alexander Calder video I did, where they kind of took his drawings and his stuff and made a deck of cards, a commemorative deck. So yeah, very cool. Yeah, I could look at this tuck case forever. Sorry if you hear that, there's a cat jumping around. But yeah, just so much detail. I'm just gonna show the sides here real quick. Interesting, only 54 regulation playing cards. But yeah, I really like that design. I just really love like the hotel and sorry, what's the name of the show? I cannot think. American Horror Story, like that hotel is so cool. The hotel season, like I just love old hotels. So yeah, lots of cool stuff. Huh, that's weird that, oh, maybe they say 54 and then don't count these cards, the ad cards, as cards. I'm not sure, but wow, this back design is insane. I'm guessing what they were going for here, and I think they completely nailed it, is like sort of a bird's eye view of like a very prestige like hotel lobby, like you're looking down and that's the main hallway or something. But yeah, so much detail, I can't even tell if this is, it looks like a two-way back design, symmetrical back design. I believe it is, but there's just so much detail in that. That is so beautiful. Let's see how the fan looks on that. As I did, I'm recording this just after I record my other video, so hopefully this video, I'll do a little better with the cardistry, but as I mentioned in my other video, very unlike me to not play or practice cardistry for more than a few hours, honestly, but yeah, I've been super busy the last couple of days and been slacking a little bit. So if my cardistry isn't as good, not that it's great, but if it's not as good as it usually is, that could be why. Man, that back design, get that to focus for you guys. That is just like impeccable. Like, yeah, so cool. Yeah, that. Yeah, is all I can say. I don't know. That is just amazing. And like I said, this is going to be a long, why do I keep saying yeah? This is going to be a long video, so you can tell, all custom pips, indices, court cards, I assume, yes, custom. So yeah, this is going to be a deep dive into this deck of cards. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoy it. And like I said, so a lot of times decks will do this when it's an open deck, because obviously now you see nothing's here, and then it's so cool too to be like, you know what, we're gonna do an upside down deck of cards, like who thinks of that? It's like cool stuff like that, but then you put the card in there and it fits in and looks really nice. I also like that green along the sides, like I think yeah, that color palette, like the green just like makes it pop so much and looks super good. So yeah, the Imperial Hotel there, obviously, and then just the back design on it. But yeah, this card's basically a placeholder card to put on the front of the deck. And then we have, the other ad card, I believe, is what I just read to you guys. that was on the back of the tuck case. I kind of like that they put it on the tuck case as well, just to, I don't know, it just, I feel like commemorates the person more, like when you're like, anyone can throw an ad card in there that, most people will, let's be honest, end up losing or not looking at or whatever, but when it's right there on the tuck case, I like how they did both. So yeah, same thing as I read to you guys, but then with the his website listed there. And then I'm gonna read the Art of Play ad side real quick. So it says, Art of Play is a modern wonder emporium, a place to discover magic with a focus on design and quality. We offer a curated collection of unique playing cards, games, puzzles, toys, and home amusements from around the world that embrace the spirit of wonder, inspire joy, and foster a community of playful sophistication. I'm sorry, you guys probably think I'm so dumb, and you might be right. Yeah, sophistication. I think that's how you say that. Sorry. But, yeah, so let's get into the deck of cards. Joker's very interesting. Love that font a lot. I've seen that font somewhere else, and it's really cool, like where it says Joker in. But, yeah, it just looks like a piece of a building there. Yeah, and it's really interesting to think about, like, kind of makes you think. Love those little things in the corners, by the way. But like, how crazy is it to think of building like a huge hotel like this in the early 1900s? And yeah, that's kind of the other thing I like with hotels, and specifically old hotels, is that, like, I don't know about you guys, but I 100% like, believe in spirits and all that stuff, and like, the whole thing with hotels and the 13th floor and stuff. I don't know, I just find it very interesting. But obviously the older a place is, the more of a chance it could be haunted. But nonetheless, let's get into this Ace of Spades. So yeah, you can't even tell on first glance, but it says Imperial Hotel at the top there. It's just, the font is so unique that it kind of just blends into the ace. And the ace is like, almost like it's being, constructed on its own too. Very, very cool. So I'm just gonna look back one more time to see. And then Tokyo, Japan on the bottom there. And then again, I love that font. Very nice. And the H there for Imperial, for H for hotel, I would assume. Yeah, I'm not 100% sure, but yeah, I would think that would have to be what it is. But yeah, definitely you can tell, like, architect type of deck of cards. Wow, that too is really interesting. And I also love the box they put behind it. The lines, it kind of just adds to the uniqueness of it. And it, like, this isn't, I mean, it's an expensive deck, so I don't think most people would use it for this anyways. But it does make it a little bit harder to read, so this wouldn't be like a euchre type of deck or whatever game you guys like to play. But yeah, very cool. Like, takes a second for your eye to kind of focus on it. And as well, love the pips and indices. Like, look at that. That's like a really unique take on a spade, and I don't know if I've seen that before. Really hoping the sevens are gonna have line throws. I'm sure you guys are hoping the exact same thing. I was being sarcastic there. Not about my hope, but about you guys caring about that, because I know it's just me that cares about that. Big reveal? No line. I mean, technically, there's a line in the background there, but no line through it. But nonetheless, very, very cool. Like I said, very interesting take on spades. I'm very interested. Oh, wow. I was going to say to see what the other suits look like, but yeah, this is crazy. Look at all the line work in that. Man. And then like the edges, that's just so cool. It almost looks like a music sheet towards the edges there. Yeah, very interesting. And then, yeah, I mean, I could look at this for an hour, just all the detail in that. Almost looks like a robot. Huh. Very, very cool. Yeah, love the font on the queue as well. And again, same background. Love when they add stuff to the sides like that. Yeah, I might have got the cards out of order there, but that's alright. Yeah, super, super cool. Very interesting. Oh my gosh, wow. That, I don't know why, but I was not expecting anything like that for the diamond. So it's almost like a 3D look there, or not almost, it is. So, you know, like when you draw a box and it looks like a 3D box, it's like that, but completely complex. Looks like you're, yeah, looking through into something further behind you. And I don't know why I'm explaining that. You guys know what 3D is. But the steps there and stuff, very reminiscent of, I'll put it up there if I can think of it. It makes me think of the end of that movie. I watched it when I was a really little kid. It's a movie about this maze that they like go through, and then the labyrinth, I think's the name of it, question mark. I'll put it up there. But if you guys have seen like the staircase, it's been probably 15 years since I've seen that movie. Yeah, I probably watched it when I was like 10. So yeah, probably 15 years. But I don't know, one of the few things I'm good at is having a good memory, and like when I see pictures of things, like I can see things similar to it I've seen before. I don't know, but just like it, I know there's something in that movie with like a similar staircase that goes around that's really interesting. I think that's the movie I'm thinking of. If it's not, I'll correct it up top. But yeah, like the color palette for this a lot too, just like that nice like bronze shade. And yeah, the diamonds look very cool. We're not going to spend too much more time going through the number cards, just because, you know, they're all the same for the most part once we see the diamond. And I already know this video is already almost at 20 minutes. So yeah, super, super cool core cards again. Yeah, very fascinating. Oh my gosh, I think, is that one different than the other king? Sorry, I just had to take a look there for a sec. Wow, if you guys want to, obviously, like, if you want to pause it to look at it, I don't want to, you know, bore the people that just want to glance at it real quick, but I'm definitely, yeah, they are all different, at least the kings. But yeah, I don't want to bore you guys with all of this, but yeah, the amount of detail that went into this is really commended. Dan and Dave, Fulton, sorry, I forget his first name, but yeah, all the people that went into these cards, super cool. Oh wow, I like that club a lot. Yeah, I wondered what they were gonna do for it, and yeah, it looks very similar to the spade, because obviously they're not doing like those rounded edges, they're sticking with the points. But yeah, very, very cool. And yeah, again, just want to say one more time, like, I just love, I know it's kind of hard to read. Wow, I really love the 8s, how it's super small at the top, it's like a lopsided 8, and then super big on the bottom. But yeah, very, very cool. I'm super glad I got this deck of cards. Yeah, it's crazy. Like, I was thinking about the other day, like, yeah, Art of Play hasn't released a ton of decks this year, and then, you know, the deck I got was, the deck they released was the Calder deck, and you see how much detail goes into something like that, and then you can kind of get a sense for why. Wow, that's really cool. Look at I didn't even notice that before, it's because there's so much stuff in the background, but the 10, in that rectangle there, the 1 takes up the full length, but the 0 takes up only half the length, much like the 8 did. But yeah, super cool. Yeah, one sec. Okay, sorry about that. I had to pause it for a sec. But yeah, I was going back looking through some of these cards. Look at that King of Hearts. I don't think I stopped on that for very long. That sword with like the details on the fingers and the crown and everything there. And, going through his head and stuff. So cool. Very unique take on court cards. But, yeah, so we've just got, and I really like the look of the hearts as well. And I think I mentioned this already, but I like the black and then this, brownish red color they used for the other one. But the number cards are just so unique. Like how I was saying with the 10 and now the 4, like you guys can see. Sorry, I'm showing you the upside down one because it's easier for me to point at it. But yeah, just like the main part of the 4 only takes up a tiny bit, and then the long line. And you can see they do that with the 3s too. How the bottom part takes up, and then it kind of scrunches up towards the end. Same with the 2, obviously. Sorry, I was showing that upside. Oh my gosh, this is insane. Yeah, these may be, like, if you're going strictly off of the 4 aces, the most intricate and could be the coolest I've ever seen. Sorry, I just wanted to look at it for a sec to take it in there, but look at that, how insane that is. Like, just the line detail on that is absolutely impeccable. So cool. And these cards feel very nice as well. I almost, like, I don't know, I feel like I shouldn't even, like, use these cards since they're just, like, so beautiful. But it is what it is. It's one of the categories. So, yeah. But, yeah, as far as looks goes, Tuck Case, is, like, second to none. Chef's Kiss. Like, I don't think I've seen many Tuck Cases cooler than that, except maybe, like, the Craig Hill Tuck Case is up there with it. But off the top of my head, and then, like, the Dan Day Private Reserve. But, yeah, it's definitely up there. And then the gold on this almost looks like a gold foil too. Not sure if it is or not. I think it might be though. And then on the back as well, that would definitely make sense. Either way, it makes sense to me why this is definitely an expensive deck of cards. But yeah, just so beautiful. Yeah, I love the Ace of Spades as well, with the Imperial Hotel at the top. So cool. Yeah, absolutely love this deck of cards. But, yeah, let's give it a couple shuffles and see how they feel. But, yeah, from what I can tell, they feel really, really nice. Yeah, not sure. I feel like these have been out for at least a year, maybe 2. If I think of it, I'll put when these cards were released up there. But, yeah, super cool. Yeah, I don't think I would use this as, like, a cardistry deck, but, as I always say, it's great to have different decks for different occasions, and I would say, for me personally, this is one of those decks that you get out to, show to friends or just, like, go through and look at. Definitely not an everyday deck. And like I said, like, it's super cool, super unique idea having the cards come out of the bottom, and super unique idea with the hold there and having the placeholder card to fit in it. But yeah, definitely not the most practical thing, but for this deck, it's super cool. Like I said, this isn't for an everyday deck of cards. You wouldn't want that, but this isn't an everyday deck of cards. This is an insane deck of cards. But yeah, very, very pleasantly surprised about these. Yeah, I know I've seen, like, it mentioned in, like, Chris Ramsey's, like, mystery deck videos, like, once or twice, but I don't know if I've ever actually seen him open these. But yeah, super cool, and just like, yeah, the numbers are amazing. But yeah, the fan is very nice as well. But yeah, it's really the face cards and the tuck case that I think are the coolest part of this deck here. But man, yeah. But yeah, they feel super nice. Man, I'm messing up here. Like I said, I told you guys, it's been a couple days since I played, which is, yeah, definitely out of the ordinary for me, but just been busy, but we'll get back to it. I've been having a little bit of troubles lately. I think part of it is just with newer decks, but doing that on the left hand, it's definitely a lot easier. I had never learned it on the left hand. I had just always done it on my right hand until I started practicing that trick that Noel showed me and wanted to add that little thing, and so I had to learn it on the left hand, but I haven't practiced it a ton yet. But look how sweet that looks when you do it like that. Boom. So yeah, super impressed with this deck of cards. Let's get into the rating. Yeah, like I said, let me put this back in here just for looks. But yeah, the opening at the bottom, the embossing, like I said, this tuck case is second to none. Yeah, there's really only a couple that I can even think of that would compare to this, and I really like that too. Like, for me, this is up here with like the stock Home 17, like Avant-Garde deck, and yeah, right now it's not going to be perfectly in there because, you know, there's nothing pushing it to the front, but yeah, so beautiful. Yeah, love all the little designs. Like, if you used to look on the sides there's just so much stuff, and like I said, I really think the like forest green there brings it all together. Yeah, super cool. Lots of embossing on it, as I mentioned. Love that Frank Lloyd Wright collection thing at the bottom there. That logo, super sick. But yeah, tuck box has to be 10 out of 10. I'd give it a 20 out of 10 if I could. But yeah, super cool. Price of these, like I said, normally it's a $25 deck, I believe, but I got it for $7. I don't know if it was the $7 or $4 or $5 deck, which one it was. I'm guessing it was the $7 one, but yeah, $7 for a deck of cards like this. You cannot beat that. Yeah, 10 out of 10 for that. Back design, I'm gonna be honest, I love it. Which a back design doesn't have to be like, oh, a cool fan, which for cardistry decks, I do like it. Like, if it's a deck where it's like, I'm getting this to use for cardistry, I like it to have a nice fan, which it does. But yeah, I mean, it has a nice fan, but it's not like my favorite fan in the world. It still looks good. But just strictly off the back design and what I'm using these cards for, it's more just to look at and awe at and yeah, appreciate. So yeah, all the intricate lines and details there, so cool. And yeah, like I said, there's definitely some sort of gold foiling in there. So yeah, it has to be, we're gonna go 9.5 out of 10. Court cards, number cards, pips, indices, all that good stuff. I do really, and I think most people would say the coolest thing about the face cards here is the court cards, and I really do love the court cards. They're super cool. Bunch of details. Sorry if my eye's like twitching. I have something in my eye. Sorry about that. But I think that's, you know, where most people who don't look at the small details or whatever would say their favorite is, but man, these aces are just absolutely gorgeous, every one of them. And then I was also going to mention too their font choice. Like, just look at like how cool that is. Like, is that the 9? No, that's the 10 there, but how it's got like that super small 0 with the long 1 and like the 3 and 8, and all of the numbers are so cool. I don't think I've ever seen a font like this, and then adding that background thing just adds to it, makes it so cool. Just trying to find one of the other certain ace I was looking for from the one that reminds me of the labyrinth. Which one was it? Not this one. This one is very cool. I mean, yeah, like I said, all the aces are super cool. I was gonna find that last one real quick to show to you guys one more time. But yeah, just like look at that 8, and then the background. Obviously not practical for a game of cards, but yeah, it's just so amazing. I love it. Like, look at that 5, how high up that goes. Haven't seen anything like it ever, I don't think. Definitely one of the coolest King of Hearts I've ever seen. Sorry, just looking for that last ace here. But also, yeah, too, I didn't mention before, put it on the 10, and then they've got that dot on the bottom there. So cool. Sorry, we have to almost be at it, or I missed it somewhere, which would suck if that was the case. Sorry, I will cut this out if it takes me a minute to find that final ace. But yeah, these cards feel super nice too. Yeah, everything about these cards is absolutely amazing. Was it this one? Alright, sorry, I'm going through here. We're finding all 4 aces. Okay, here it is. Sorry, I don't know why it took me so long to find that. My bad on that, guys. But yeah, look at that. Those steps there, the symmetry, just yeah, so beautiful. Yeah, it kind of looks like a dream to me, like I was talking about the movie The Labyrinth. I'm pretty sure that's it. I could be wrong. It's been, like I said, at minimum, like 13 years since I've seen that movie, so I could be getting it wrong, but like those steps to me resemble just like a dream-like state where like you're having a dream and you see like those random steps like floating, and like you go, I think there's like a Rick and Morty episode that starts like that too. But yeah, I don't know, just very cool design, kind of almost like your thoughts, or yeah, like one of your dreams being put into or a part of one of your dreams at least being put into a card. So yeah, very cool. So yeah, it has to be a 10 out of 10 for that. And then the few of these, they honestly, I was kind of thinking going into it like, these might not feel the greatest, which is fine with me because, you know, it's more of a deck that you have just to, you know, look at, but Art of Play always goes all out, and I really appreciate that because, you know, there is some decks that you get where it's like, hey, you know, this doesn't have to be, like, people aren't going to be using this deck a lot, like, we could use a cheaper stock or whatever, but they never do that, so I really appreciate that. And I do think it's not the best I've felt, but I do think it's slightly above their average deck of cards. So yeah, 9.5 out of that. So we had 3 10s, 2 9.5s, which leaves us at 49 out of 50. So yeah, nearly a perfect deck. Yeah, depending on, like, if I was in a different mood, I mean, I'm in a good mood, I'm not trying to say anything by that, but, yeah, on certain days I could definitely call this a 50 out of 50 deck. I'm trying to get a little bit harsher on my ratings though, because if, you know, 1 out of every 3 reviews is a 50 out of 50, it's kind of boring. So yeah, I'm trying to get like a little bit harsher on that sort of thing. But yeah, Imperial Hotel, Frank Lloyd Wright, Art of Play. Yeah, absolutely love it. Yeah, everything in this deck is just beautiful. So yeah, so happy I was able to get my hands on it. Yeah, super, super cool. I also love the, what does that mean? I didn't show you guys this in the beginning. It says 19 plus 22, so 41. Yeah, so it'd be 21 plus 20, right? So yeah, 41. Sorry, I was trying to think of what the significance of the number 41 has to do with anything. But also, like, the distributed by Art of Play San Diego. And yeah, let me know if anyone knows. If I can figure it out, I probably won't. Oh, I don't have to put in the year. I still will, so it's not just me pointing at something and there's nothing there. But 2022 on the card, so I was right. It's about a 2-year-old deck of cards. But yeah, love this deck a ton. Super happy about it. Like I said, the next review coming up will probably be the Alphabet playing cards, which super cool. It's like a square deck of cards by King's Wild Project, and like I said, there's a lot. It's gonna be more of a like a personal video, I guess, but it's also gonna be really cool. Yeah, I don't want to get into it in a different video and make this video even longer, but yeah, it's gonna be a really cool video. I'm super excited for it. Yeah, got a lot of cool stuff coming up, so yeah, like, comment, subscribe if you enjoyed, and yeah, from the bottom of my heart, thank you guys to everyone who watches, likes, comments, subscribes, and yeah, you guys are the reason I get to, keep making these videos, and because yeah, if no one was watching it, I probably wouldn't be doing it. So yeah, I appreciate everyone that watches. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you have a deck you want me to review, let me know in the comments. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.